Hey everybody, it's Helen Hillix, intuitive counselor and licensed therapist. And I know that what you are looking for today is conflict avoidance, and you've come to the right place. Now, there's two things I'd like to say about that. I don't know if you're looking for how to avoid conflict, which is more about what I'm going to talk about, is how to avoid conflict, or whether you're looking for how to stop avoiding conflict when it's important. Both of those things I'm going to talk about actually. So it's like how to not create needless conflicts. I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about how to avoid how to not be afraid of conflicts that need to happen. Because you know what? Conflict is inevitable. We are not the same human being as anybody else. So it's just absolutely inevitable to have some conflict. And I have 35 years of experience as an intuitive counselor and licensed therapist and coach, and not to mention my decades of experience as a human being. And conflict is absolutely natural and unavoidable. However, we can learn to avoid lots of needless conflict by learning tons and tons of life skills, and by evolving, by growing, by healing our old traumas and mistaken beliefs. And that's one thing I'm really passionate about, is helping people heal those deep old traumas and pains from the past that get in the way because we have these mistaken beliefs that no one can be trusted, or that you should never open your heart, or that you don't want to be made a fool of. That was one of my things that had to be healed, was I did not want to be made a fool of. And sometimes I still struggle with that, of getting really vulnerable about telling my husband what I need, because I don't want to be rejected either. That's another one. And so all of those things are ways that I learned to avoid the potential conflict of telling my husband what I need and then not having him be there. Maybe I'm asking for something unrealistic or whatever it is, but it's like so many people are conflict avoidant, and it's like they never will ask for what they need because they don't want to hear no, or they don't want to cause a fight, and they think that that is going to be helpful. But oh my God, it's not helpful. It is absolutely not helpful, because what's the resulting consequence is that person doesn't even know what you need. And so, and you feel resentful and hurt and frightened because you're alone, because you never talk about what you need. So it inevitably causes a great deal of separation that's absolutely unnecessary. So and I want to just say, this YouTube channel and my podcast, which is From My Heart to Yours, is all about how to be real, how to learn life skills that help you be real, because you can't be real if you don't know how to resolve conflict once you are real, because there will inevitably be some conflict with some people when you are authentic. So you've got to have both sides of it. You've got to have the support and encouragement to be real, and then you have to have the life skills and the relationship skills that are necessary to resolve whatever happens as a consequence. And you'll find both of those on this YouTube channel, and you'll also find them on my podcast, From My Heart to Yours, which is on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And of course, the great thing about podcasts is you can listen to them while you're doing the dishes or vacuuming or jogging or anything else, going to the grocery store. And they will correlate to one another. I will have a YouTube video and a new podcast episode up every single week, and they will be specifically about a life skill, or there'll be an interview with somebody that's talking about authenticity and offering their perspective about it. And it's a really powerful podcast. I've gotten tremendous feedback about it, about how helpful it is to people. And there are lots of self-help things you guys can get out there. I'm just one of them, but I do want you to take advantage of what I have to offer, because I know it has value. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, and there too, I have a lot of skills and tools and encouragements about conflict, how to avoid conflict, and how to not avoid conflict. I mean, it's kind of funny, but how to avoid conflict in terms of how to avoid needless conflict. Because if we learn to not react and take things personally, then we can avoid a lot of needless conflict. But then if we learn those life skills, then we can learn to not avoid the conflict that is necessary to help us grow and express ourselves and be authentically ourselves and have healthy relationships. Because again, conflict is inevitable because we're not the same person. We are just not the same person, and that creates conflict. But once you have the life skills you need, you're not afraid of that anymore because you know you can handle it. People say, I don't trust him, he's going to hurt my feelings. Well, you don't have to worry about trusting him to not hurt your feelings if you trust you to be able to handle it well when your feelings get hurt. And that's what I always tell people. It's so much more powerful because no other person, including yourself, if you think you never hurt yourself, you've got another thing coming, right? I can't say how many times I've hurt myself by doing something stupid, and still do sometimes. So we get to learn how to not avoid conflict that's necessary, and we get to learn how to avoid needless conflict. So follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and every single day you're going to get something that you can use, something that will support you in this endeavor to avoid conflict, in a healthy way. And every week there's a new podcast and a new YouTube video. So subscribe on both places. And please grab my free gift, which is how to do the 7 powerful steps of a redo. And there's a beautiful graphic with a cheat sheet of all 7 steps. And there's a video to tell you exactly how to use that tool, which can help resolve conflicts tremendously. So please grab that free gift. And please subscribe and follow me. And I hope I see you here often. And I love you. And I want to give you all my gifts from my heart to yours. So I hope to see you soon.